Welcome back. Well, we have Shirley Morgan and Carol Blanchard here from the Republican Club. Well, ladies, welcome and thank you so much for joining me in studio today. How are you?
It's our honor to be here.
Yes. Thank you, thank you. Now, we've got a couple things to cover, but first and foremost, let me just get to know a little bit about both of you. We talked a little bit off camera. Carol, give me your background.
Well, I graduated from college and was a school teacher for 5 years, and then I was in the nonprofit arena and worked for Chapman University for 7 years, and then other nonprofits. And then I had the chance to go to China and teach English for 10 years. And now I'm home and volunteering for the Republican Party.
That's excellent. And you've lived here a long time. Since
25 years.
25. You were second generation?
Second generation.
That is amazing. You've seen a lot here, I'm sure.
Yes, I have.
And how about you, Shirley?
Well, I was born in Michigan and was never so happy to get out of there in 1962. I had 4 children, and I was in real estate. I had my own office and escrow company, and I moved out here in 1999. And like I said, that having been president of the Republican Women, when somebody knows you have a little leadership ability, I became president of this club in 2000,
right,
and was president in 2010. So for 10 years, and we had a great club, great meetings, and we are a nonprofit club.
Right.
So we have our own bylaws, and abide by that.
That's great. That's great. And you guys have a lot of activity. But before we get into some of those things that you have coming up, tell me a little bit about the Republican Club as a whole. I mean, what would you like people to know about it?
Well,
Go ahead.
Well, I would tell you our objectives is to promote a wider knowledge of the principles and policies of the Republican Club, and to encourage active participation by our members, and to cooperate with other Republican organizations, and to work for the election of Republican Party nominees, both state, local, and federal.
Right. Okay. All right. And how many members do you guys have now?
Over 300.
300. And then I think you had mentioned to me when we talked about you coming on, is that there's about 5,000 registered Republican
over
voters?
5,000.
Okay.
And 2,500 NPP, which are no party preference,
Okay.
that we try to influence and include in our education.
Okay. All right. Well, what would you say to those folks right now? I mean, if they're watching today, what are some things you'd like them to know?
Well, we want them to be educated as to the candidates and the bills that are up for election. That's why we have monthly speakers. Besides the candidates themselves who are running, we also have people like the treasurer of Orange County or the registrar of voters. So we're helping to educate people as to what's going on.
Okay.
We've had Lisa Bartlett, who's our supervisor, Marcia Milliken, who is the trustee at Saddleback. We also give donations to our big philanthropy is called Operation Interdependence. And we collect toiletries and things that will fit in a plastic bag. And we all write cards at every meeting. We fill out cards and send those overseas to our military. So we do that every month. That's our philanthropy. And we also give monetary donations to Laguna Woods Historical Society, to the Senior Center, and to the foundation.
Okay.
So we're involved locally and overseas also.
That's great.
We have.
Then we also have a legislative chairman that informs us all the bills that are pending, so we're aware of it and suggest that they write to their local candidates or Republican,
Right.
let them know we want you to vote for, or we want you to vote against this.
Right, right. Now, one thing that you guys do, and you're in charge of that, is a very nice newsletter that you have here. So all of your members get that, and you talk about your upcoming meetings, and what else do you put inside here?
Well, any articles that are pertinent, that I feel are pertinent to the time. And on this one, I have quite a few excerpts from Mark Levin's American Marxism,
Okay.
which is a book that I think everybody should read.
What was the name of the book?
American Marxism.
Okay, all right.
Because that's looming in front of us.
Okay, all right. And then you've got an upcoming meeting that's going to be September 3rd, and you have a speaker. Tell me about the speaker.
He's a I just write what they tell me, but he has won many awards for different things. World War II for Newsmax, and he's a producer, so he's very well known apparently.
Well, he's got a series. It's called An American Moment, and so he's obviously very up on what's happening today.
And he's won an Emmy Award as well. So,
Okay.
So we look forward to that. And then the next month we have Star Parker, and she's the head of Cure. And I knew her when she first started in this because I was in Whittier, and she was on welfare, and she was down in the dumps, and she brought herself up, and she's a wonderful person, has this organization. It's marvelous. And then we have Jason Chavitz for November. We usually don't have a November meeting, but he's agreed to come, and so we're looking forward to him.
That's great. Now, who's in charge of getting the speakers?
Our Phyllis Nelson and Carolyn Minot. They're our two vice chairmen.
Okay, so they do an awful lot of trying.
Right.
All of you do whatever it is you do for the club, but it's a lot of work to keep this going, isn't it?
It is. Thankfully.
It's worthwhile.
That's good. That's good. Now, coming September 14th, there is a ballot that has been sent out already, and that is about the recall of the governor. And I know there are some things that you would like to say to people about that, so go ahead.
Well, there are places to vote. Everybody should have received a postcard with the dates and the opportunity to find a drop box or by mail. By mail is safe. The drop boxes used to be outside of the city hall, but they can vote in person 3 days before or hand their ballot in 3 days before at our city hall in Laguna Woods.
Okay.
And it's like 8 in the morning till 8 at night, and on election day it's 7 in the morning till 8 at night. And that would be probably the most recommended, is to drop your ballot off or go in person and vote.
Okay. We had the registrar of voters on yesterday, and she went through a lot of that, and there really is an awful lot of ways, like you mentioned. They've staggered openings for different places to be able to take your ballot in person. And I did ask her about security because, of course, we're all concerned about what's going to happen with those ballots. And she really was very good about telling us that the security is in place, and she's working with the FBI, Homeland Security, to make sure that the ballots are safe. So that's great to know. Great to know. In closing, is there anything in particular you'd like to let everyone know? I mean, 300 people, and you would like more.
Absolutely. We invite everybody to attend our luncheons on the first Friday of the month. We have a holiday banquet on December 5th, which is the first Sunday night. Traditionally, we've had entertainment, and we initiate all our officers for the next year.
Okay.
We welcome people to come and attend our meetings and speakers. And we're on Channel 6 every Thursday at 6 p.m. with their speakers. So they don't have to leave the comfort of their house, but they can still learn a lot and be educated,
Then we
which
have a
is our
website
goal.
also.
And you have a website, all right. What is your website?
The website puts I make a flyer every month for the speakers, and he puts our newsletter in there and anything that comes up. And then I have a robocall that I make to remind everybody that the meeting is, next week, and to make your reservations.
Oh, that's good.
So, it's a reminder because we live in a senior center. And people
Are you saying we're having trouble with our memories?
And people forget.
I have one more thing.
Yes.
Is that we have a bus trip every year. We've gone to the Nixon Museum the Nixon Library and the Reagan Library. This year we're going to the Getty Museum
great.
in Los Angeles on Veterans Day, November 11th.
Oh.
So contact us if you're interested in joining us on that bus trip.
Okay, now let's go and show the slide one more time about your dues, because there
Okay.
is a yearly dues, right?
Right.
So you have dues for, you've got regular members is 20, patron members is 25, and then tell me what the Republican Stars is. What is
Sure.
that?
That was something that Carol started. And for $100, you can, and it's for, for our candidates, we donate to the candidates. And we also have an essay contest and all different things that, that money can be used for. So, and it's very successful.
Yeah.
We've gotten quite a few star members.
nice.
Yeah.
Well, we not only give that money for donations here in Laguna Woods to our senior center, to our foundation,
Right.
and to the Senior Citizen Center.
Okay, and
So
what is
we
the
do-
essay contest?
That's for the high schools.
Oh, the high schools, okay.
Yeah, we haven't been able to do that this
Yeah.
year because they weren't in, but we have a competition in many of the high schools, the local high schools, and then we give out a $500 prize, and we
Wow.
invite that winner to come and read their essay to us.
Oh, that is great. That's nice. Very encouraging for our
Yeah.
young people. That's
Yeah.
excellent.
Right.
Well, ladies, thank you so much. It was very nice
Well,
to meet
thank
both
you.
of you.
Thank you
Thank
for
you
having us.
You're welcome. You're
We
welcome.
appreciate it.
All right. If you want more information about the Republican Club, you can go to the LagunaWoodsVillage.com website and type in the Republican Club. It'll bring you right to their information. We'll be right back.